The South China Sea drama. What's triggering the heat? Explore the USS Gabrielle Giffords' bold maneuvers that have China crying foul, claiming illegal intrusion. Unravel the mystery surrounding the 9-line dispute, where international waters become a battleground. Why is the entire South China Sea at stake, and what's the real impact on global relations? Join us on this high-stakes journey through political tension, accusations, and unexpected twists in a region where every move counts. Last week, the USS Gabrielle Giffords boldly sailed through international waters near the second Thomas Shoal, a submerged reef in the South China Sea. Situated 105 nautical miles west of Palawan, this routine operation triggered strong objections from China, alleging illegal intrusion into its territory. As tensions escalate, Chinese state-run media accuses the US of not only violating territorial boundaries, but also of creating regional tensions and resentment against China. What's the real story behind this maritime showdown? In the contested South China Sea, the United States is strategically conducting routine operations as a display of support for its long-standing ally, the Philippines. Despite China's sweeping claims over the entire region, the international community maintains a divergent perspective. As per international law, the second Thomas Shoal falls well within the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. However, China remains undeterred, establishing militarized bases such as the Fiery Cross Reef since 2006. Adding to the complexity, China's coastal forces engage in provocative actions, including the recent bumping of supply ships on October 22nd and the blocking of Philippine Coast Guard ships, occurring not only on October 4th, but again on October 22nd. The escalating tensions in this maritime theater continue to unfold with each maneuver, shaping the geopolitical landscape. Then again, we find ourselves at the Julian Felipe Reef, or Whitsun Reef, witnessing a concerning scenario. Since November, an ever-growing swarm of Chinese maritime militia ships has been congregating, with the current count exceeding 135 vessels, up from 111 on November 13th. While not reaching the zenith of 200 vessels in March 2021, the day is still young. This orchestrated buildup hints at a deliberate strategy to establish a barrier, effectively cutting off the Philippines from the region. The unfolding events at Julian Felipe Reef underscore the dynamic nature of geopolitical tensions, urging us to closely monitor the evolving situation. In the face of China's assertiveness, the Philippines has refused to back down. In a bold move, the Philippines decides to sever ties on a colossal $5 billion worth of rail projects with China. This is not just a diplomatic move, it's a statement. The archipelago, once seen as a mere pawn in the power play, is now taking charge. The scene shifts to military exercises, not just within its borders, but in collaboration with formidable allies, the US, Japan, South Korea, and Britain. Among these exercises, an interesting rendezvous with Japan involves peculiar drills featuring water cannons and towing, keeping spectators on the edge of their seats. But it doesn't stop there. The Philippines is weaving a network of partnerships to bolster its position. Joint patrols become the norm, not only with the US and Australia, but also in talks with nations like Japan, New Zealand, the UK, Canada, and France. The stage is set for a coalition that seems to be saying, "We stand united against the rising tide." The Philippines also strengthening its resistance by maintaining the Sierra Madre, a World War II ship grounded on second Thomas Shoal, despite constant Chinese blockades. The USS Gabrielle Giffords maneuvers through these obstacles, highlighting the Philippines' determination. Notably, a civilian Christmas convoy is announced, scheduled to visit disputed South China Sea islands from December 10th to 12th, adding a bold twist to the narrative. However, due to safety concerns, access to the BRP Sierra Madre is restricted by the Philippines, but the Christmas convoy will navigate towards significant destinations in the South China Sea, including Thitu Island in the Spratlys Archipelago. Despite its modest size, merely 91 acres, and its location approximately 300 miles from the Philippines mainland, Thitu Island holds strategic importance for the Philippines. Positioned as a potential flashpoint, this small island becomes a focal point in the ongoing geopolitical tensions, underscoring its critical role in the region's dynamics. the journey toward Thaitu Island adds an intriguing dimension to the unfolding narrative, hinting at the complex web of interests and conflicts in the South China Sea. Thaitu Island, a focal point of tension between the Philippines and China, faces persistent harassment from Chinese maritime militia vessels. Recent reports indicate that these militia boats, numbering 40 to 45 in November, frequently encircle Thaitu for extended periods, often with support from Chinese Coast Guard ships. Situated just 14 miles from Subi Reef, teeming with Chinese military infrastructure, Thaitu is a strategic target for China's efforts to extend influence in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. In response to China's military buildup, the Philippines stands firm, using Thaitu Island as a strategic countermeasure, encouraging civilian habitation with incentives like free rice. The island now boasts crucial infrastructure, including Wi-Fi, paved roads, a wharf, a grade school, a gymnasium, and an evaluation center. Recently inaugurated, a new coast monitoring base on Thaitu has been blessed with holy water, signifying its significance. National Security Advisor Eduardo Ano led the opening ceremony, emphasizing the base's advanced capabilities, including radar, satellite communication, coastal cameras, and ship traffic management. This development deals a significant blow to China's gray zone tactics, countering its efforts to expand military influence through non-warfare means. Thaitu Island's enhancements demonstrate the Philippines' resolve to resist and safeguard its interests against Chinese pressure. In response to the Philippines' strategic developments on Thaitu Island, China's official stance, as conveyed through its media, dismisses the Philippines, alleging a lack of rationality and balance. This assertion is contradicted by captured footage of China's maritime militia gathering near White Sun Reef, in close proximity to Thaitu Island. As reported by Asia Times, the recent expansion of the Thaitu Island base is seen as a move that puts the Philippines on a collision course with China in the South China Sea. The escalating tensions underscore the geopolitical struggle for influence in the region, with both nations asserting their interests amid a complex and contested maritime landscape. Here is a timeline of key events in 2023 that have escalated tensions between the Philippines and China. From January 3 to 5, Marcos conducted a 3-day visit to Beijing, during which he and Chinese President Xi Jinping reached an agreement to establish direct communication channels between their respective foreign ministries concerning the South China Sea. On February 2nd, the Philippines expands U.S. military access to 4 additional bases under the 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. On February 13th to 14, the Philippines accuses China's Coast Guard of using a military-grade laser on troops stationed on a grounded warship at 2nd Thomas Shoal, leading Marcos to summon China's ambassador. On March 4th, the Philippines detects a Chinese Navy ship and 42 suspected maritime militia vessels near Thaitu Island. On April 3rd, Manila discloses 4 EDCA bases, with 3 facing north to Taiwan and 1 near the disputed Spratly Islands. On April 11th, over 17,000 Filipino and U.S. soldiers initiate their largest ever joint military drills in the Philippines. On the same month, Marcos and his foreign secretary meet China's then foreign minister, Qin Gang, in Manila, committing to resolving maritime disputes. On May 1st, the U.S. President Biden welcomes Marcos at the White House, emphasizing commitment to South China Sea freedom. On June 6th, the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines conduct trilateral Coast Guard exercises in the South China Sea, marking a historic first. On July 7th, the Philippine military reports a disturbing rise in Chinese fishing vessels in contested waters. By August 5th, tensions peak as China's Coast Guard allegedly blocks and fires a water cannon at a Philippine supply boat near the 2nd Thomas Shoal. On September 24th and 25th, the Philippines accuses China of placing a floating barrier near the Scarborough Shoal. In October, incidents include a Chinese Navy ship shadowing a Philippine vessel and Chinese Coast Guard vessels intentionally colliding with Philippine vessels near the 2nd Thomas Shoal. On November 16th, the Philippines demands China to dismantle illegal structures in its exclusive economic zone. Same month, joint patrols by the Philippines and the U.S. start from Taiwan to the South China Sea. On November 25th, the Philippines and Australia initiate joint sea and air patrols in the South China Sea. On December, the Philippines notes over 135 Chinese vessels near Whitsun Reef, which are accused of firing water cannons and ramming Philippine boats. On December 21st, China warns against misjudgments in maritime affairs.